The North American Registry of Midwives Candidate Information Booklet for the certifying process of becoming a certified professional midwife, CPM, page 6 of 70. NARM Position Statement, Educational Requirements to become a CPM. The Certified Professional Midwife, CPM, is a knowledgeable, skilled professional midwife who has been educated through a variety of routes. Candidates eligible to apply for the Certified Professional Midwife, CPM credential include candidates who have completed NARM's Competency-Based Portfolio Evaluation Process, PEP, graduates of programs accredited or pre-accredited by the Midwifery Education Accreditation Council, MEAC. Midwives certified by the American Midwifery Certification Board, AMCB, as CNMs or CMs, and midwives who hold legal recognition in states, countries, previously evaluated for educational equivalency. The education, skills, and experience necessary for entry into the profession of direct entry midwifery were originally identified by the Midwives Alliance of North America, MANA, Core Competencies, and the Certification Task Force, subsequently authenticated by NARM's current job analysis and are outlined in NARM's Candidate Information Booklet. These documents describe the standard for the educational curriculum required of all certified professional midwives. NARM recognizes that the education of a certified professional midwife, CPM, is composed of didactic and clinical experience. The clinical component of the educational process must be at least 2 years in duration. The average apprenticeship, which includes didactic and clinical training, typically lasts 3 to 5 years. The clinical experience includes prenatal, intrapartal, postpartal, and newborn care by a student midwife under supervision. A preceptor for a NARM PEP applicant must be credentialed as a certified professional midwife, CPM, certified nurse midwife, CNM, certified midwife, CM, or must be a licensed practitioner legally recognized by a state jurisdiction to provide maternity care. A preceptor must have an additional 3 years of experience after credentialing or 50 primary, co-primary births beyond entry-level CPM requirements. Additionally, must also have 10 continuity of care births beyond entry-level CPM requirements. A preceptor must have attended a minimum of 10 out-of-hospital births in the last 3 years. The preceptor holds final responsibility for confirming that the applicant provided the required care and demonstrated the appropriate knowledge base for providing the care. The preceptor must be physically present in the same room in a supervisory capacity during that care and must confirm the provision of that care by signing the appropriate NARM forms. All applicants are required to complete a workshop, module, or course on cultural awareness for certification. Approved courses, modules are a course on cultural awareness within a midwifery education program accredited or pre-accredited by MEAC or a specific state-approved midwifery education program. A course on cultural awareness within a state-approved medical education program. A cultural awareness course accredited for CEUs by MEAC or other approved agency. Any acceptable course should address some or all of the following: bias, racism, outcome disparities, communication differences across cultures, economic factors, power differentials in relationships, microaggressions, ethnicity, etc. Documentation submitted should be a certificate Documentation submitted should be a certificate of completion of the course provided by the approved school, program, or a CEU certificate approved by MEEC or other approved agency. Candidate Information Booklet, CIB, December 2021, page 7 of 70. The certified professional midwife practices the midwife's model of care primarily in out-of-hospital settings. The CPM is the only national credential that requires knowledge and experience in out-of-hospital settings. Page 8 of 70, General Requirements. Educational content areas. The education of all entry-level CPM applicants must include the content areas identified in the following documents: the core competencies developed by the Midwives Alliance of North America, the NARM written test specifications, the NARM examination primary reference list, experience and skill requirements. During the course of their educational process, all CPM applicants are expected to acquire the full range of entry-level midwifery skills as defined by NARM. Requirements for testing and documentation of these skills vary by educational category. General requirements. All applicants, regardless of route of entry, must provide 1. All general education requirements. A. NARM requires applicants meet the minimum education level of a high school diploma or equivalent or greater. B. All required NARM clinical experience must occur after completion of the minimum education level. 2. All appropriate NARM application forms as noted on the specific route checklist. 3. A copy of both sides of current adult CPR and NRP course completion. NARM only accepts certification from courses which include a hands-on skills component. Online-only courses are not accepted. Approved CPR courses include the American Heart Association, the Red Cross, and American Safety and Health Institute, ASHI. Basic life support neonatal resuscitation courses must be approved by the American Academy of Pediatrics, the Canadian Pediatric Society, or pre-approved by NARM. Courses must be approved for use in the United States or Canada. Certifications must be current at the time the CPM is issued or renewed. A. To fulfill the NARM NRP requirement, CPM's students may either complete NRP Advanced Lessons 1 through 11 or NRP Essentials Lessons 1 through 4. B. If you choose the NRP Essentials Lessons 1 through 4, NARM requires completion of the American Heart Association or American Red Cross Basic Life Support Training for the healthcare provider professional, which include chest compressions for adult, child, and infant to meet the NRP requirement. Page 8 of 70, NARM requires a current AHA, ARC, BLS for healthcare providers and NRP card at the time of CPM renewal or initial application. NARM recommends reading chapters 5 through 11 of the NRP 8th edition, focusing on chapter 6, which covers chest compressions integrated with positive pressure ventilation, PPV. 4. Written verification of A. Practice guidelines, B. Emergency care form, C. Informed disclosure given at initiation of care, and D. Informed consent documents used for shared decision-making during care. 5. Documentation and verification of experience, knowledge, and skills on the appropriate NARM forms. 6. Documentation of workshop, course, or module on cultural awareness. All NARM applications are evaluated in detail and randomly audited. Applicants, regardless of category, could be required to submit charts, practice documents, and/or other related documentation as requested. Requirements for certification by educational category. The first step toward becoming a certified professional midwife is the validation of midwifery education. Education may be validated through one of the following routes: completion of NARM'S Portfolio Evaluation Process, PEP, PEP, graduation from a MEEC accredited pre-accredited program, certification by the AMCB as a CNM, CM, legal recognition in states, countries previously evaluated for educational equivalency, completion of NARM'S Portfolio Evaluation Process, PEP. This route has been developed to facilitate applicants who are primarily apprentice trained and/or have not graduated from a MEEC accredited pre-accredited program, are not certified by the AMCB as a CNM, CM, are not legally recognized in their states, or have not received formal midwifery training outside the United States. NARM'S Portfolio Evaluation Process, PEP, is a competency-based educational evaluation process that includes NARM'S skills verification. Entry-level PEP, page 10 of 70. Entry-level PEP candidates must: Step 1, verification of experience and skills. 1. Must meet general requirements above, including submission of all necessary application forms. 2. Confirm that preceptor is a current NARM registered preceptor. 3. Complete the first 3 of 4 phases. Phase 1, births as an observer. The applicant must attend a minimum of 10 births in any setting, in any capacity: observer, doula, family member, friend, beginning student. These births may be verified by any witness who is present at the birth. A minimum of 2 planned hospital births must be included in Phase 1. These births cannot be intrapartum transports, but may be antepartum referrals. Phase 2, assistant under supervision. The applicant must attend a minimum of 20 births, 25 prenatals including 3 initial exams, 20 newborn exams, and 10 postpartum visits as an assistant under the supervision of a registered preceptor. Phase 3, primary under supervision. The applicant must document 75 prenatal exams, including 20 initial exams, 20 newborn exams, and 40 postpartum exams. A minimum of 20 primary births. Of the 20 primary births, 5 require full continuity of care, COC, and 10 more require at least 1 prenatal under supervision. The 5 COC births will include 5 prenatals spanning at least 2 trimesters, the birth, newborn exam, and 2 postpartum exams. Students must have attended at least 1 prenatal in a primary or assisting role with the mother prior to her labor and birth for 10 of the 20 Phase 3 births, in addition to the 5 with full continuity of care. A minimum of 10 of the 20 Phase 3 births must be in homes or other out-of-hospital settings and must have occurred within 3 years of Phase 3 application submission. Experience in specific settings. A minimum of 5 home births must be attended in any role. Provide 3 letters of reference: personal, professional, and client. All 3 letters must be sent directly to NARM by the individual providing the reference, not by the applicant. Complete the second verification of skills, Form 206. Step 2, written examination. Pass the NARM examination. Step 3, final requirements for certification. Submit Phase 4, additional births as primary under supervision. The applicant must attend 5 additional births. These births may occur prior to passing the NARM examination or up to 6 months after. 2. Submit any outstanding documentation or updated CPR neonatal resuscitation. The Certified Professional Midwife certification will be issued after all requirements are met. Graduation from a MEAC accredited, pre-accredited program, page 11 of 70. Graduates of a MEAC accredited, pre-accredited program must 1. Must meet general requirements above, including submission of all necessary application forms. 2. Submit documentation of attendance at 2 planned hospital births and 5 home births. 3. Submit documentation of functioning in the role of primary midwife or primary under supervision for a minimum of 10 births in home or other out-of-hospital settings in the last 3 years. These births must have occurred in the U.S., Canada. 4. Send a notarized copy of one of the following below. Official documents sent to NARM directly from the school do not need to be notarized. A final transcript with the school insignia, or B, original graduation certificate or diploma, or C, a letter from the administrator of the program or school letterhead noting that all graduation requirements have been met pending passing the NARM examination. 5. Upon arrival of the application materials, the NARM examination will be scheduled. 6. Pass the NARM examination. 7. Verification of graduation from a MEAC accredited, pre-accredited program. The Certified Professional Midwife certification will be issued after all requirements are met. MEAC graduates are expected to apply for NARM certification within 3 years of graduation. If the application process extends beyond this time, NARM requires additional birth experience documentation. Be advised, if you do not complete your MEAC accredited program and change your application route to PEP, NARM requires PEP clinicals to be signed off by a NARM registered preceptor. Not all MEAC preceptors are NARM registered preceptors. There is no fee to register as a NARM registered preceptor, so we encourage all MEAC preceptors to register with NARM. Certification by the AMCB as a CNM/CM, page 12 of 70. Candidates certified by the American Midwifery Certification Board, AMCB, must 1. Must meet general requirements above, including submission of all necessary application forms. 2. Send a copy of current AMCB, CNM/CM wallet, card, or certificate. 3. On the NARM form provided in the application packet, submit documentation of functioning in the role of primary midwife or primary under supervision for A minimum of 10 births in homes or other out-of-hospital settings, B, a minimum of 5 births with continuity of care, at least 5 prenatal visits spanning 2 trimesters, the birth, newborn exam, and 2 postpartum exams. 4. Upon approval of the application materials, the NARM examination will be scheduled. 5. Pass the NARM examination. The Certified Professional Midwife certification will be issued after all requirements are met. State licensure, registration, or UK registration. Candidates holding a current state midwifery license or UK registration must 1. Must meet general requirements above, including submission of all necessary application forms. 2. Submit out-of-hospital birth documentation, Form 204. 3. Submit a current state UK credential, i.e. certificate, license, or registration. 4. Upon approval of the application materials, the NARM examination will be scheduled. The NARM examination is only given in the U.S. 5. Pass the NARM examination. unless previously passed as part of the licensure process. The Certified Professional Midwife certification will be issued after all requirements are met.